Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Mondays with Meeks. I'm Chris Meeks, Director of Financial Aid here at ENMU-Roswell. Today we've got a couple of quick updates for you for some things coming up in the future. First thing we want to let you know about is there is a student opinion survey that's going to be emailed out to all current students that are registered for the spring semester. That survey link will be in the email. It will also be posted on the Blackboard shell. We encourage you guys to please fill out that survey beginning April 5th. And that time frame is also important for our other update, which is the fact that registration for classes for the upcoming summer and fall terms will open online April 4th. And we will begin with advisors and that kind of thing April 5th. So you can call and set up an appointment, whatever you need to do. But this week's feature, we're going to be in the Health Science Center doing some really cool stuff in the Simulation Center. So we'll see you guys over there in a few minutes. Hey, John.
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
Right on. Hey. So, hey, welcome to this week's episode of Mondays with Meeks. I'm in the Health Science Center. I'm here with John Bitner. He is the medical simulation specialist here in the Medical Simulation Center. And John's going to kind of give us a tour today. Let us, I'm going to call it, play with some of the cool toys. But really, they're great educational purposes here. So, John, would you tell us, before we get started on the tour, a little bit about what you do here?
Sure. I'm in charge of all the mannequins and all the skills for all the programs here in the building. We go from nursing assisting, medical assisting, OT, occupational therapy, respiration therapy, all the paramedic, all the EMT levels.
Okay.
So in one way, shape, or form, all those programs come down into the Simulation Center to reinforce the skills they're learning in their classroom.
Oh, right.
And it's my job to set up everything, make sure everything's working for them. Sometimes I actually talk as the patient and interact in scenarios when they're running them. It all depends on what level the program's at to what level they're using the Simulation Center at.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to get started.
All right.
All right, cool. So let's take a look around.
All right, let me show you around. This is our first room. It's set up like a living room.
Okay.
And that's mainly because paramedics, when they come to your house, they're not laying out on a bed already.
Right.
They have to get you out of the easy chair or off your futon and make sure they don't bump into your belongings.
Okay.
And right now we have Bam Bam. He's our junior mannequin. He's sitting in there reclining out and ready for a simulation. But we're not going to start there today. We're going to show you around some more, and then I'm going to have you mess around with one of my other mannequins.
Okay.
This room right here is our OB room. This is Wilma. She can actually give birth unassisted.
Oh, wow.
Before Wilma came along in the technology-wise, Dad would be sitting here with his hand underneath the sheet, and he would actually deliver the baby.
Okay.
We don't need to do that with Wilma. She can actually do 4 types of births unassisted, and she's used by the nursing program and our EMT program.
Okay.
Our whole simulation center has high-tech audio and video in there, so we can actually see what's going on in the room without having to be in the room. And that's a very useful tool, because if the instructor's in the room and they're hitting on the computer or something, the students will know what's going on. In this case, the teacher can be in another room watching what's going on, and so they have to actually react with the patient, interact with the patient.
Okay.
Once mom gives birth, we have pebbles over there in our incubator. Okay. And so that's why there's 3 cameras in this room, because now once she gives birth, we have 2 patients that we have to deal with.
Awesome.
We're going to go down the hall. I'm going to show you Betty's room. Betty's one of our newest additions to the Simulation Center. She is mainly for nursing, but any program can use her. But a lot of the skills that nursing uses, she's already set up for. This is one of the first mannequins that we could actually sit up and lock her hips. So if we had like a doctor's office scenario, we could put her on one of those tables that everybody sits on in the doctor's office, and she can actually support herself when she's going up there. All of our mannequins are what I call CPR mannequins on steroids, because they can do CPR, but they can do so much more. They can blink, they can breathe. Some of them are self-contained and actually can we can move them wherever we want to. Betty here is pretty much stuck in her room. She's not one of our mobile ones, but she's a very useful tool to our nursing program and all of our other programs. We're going to go down the hall back again, and I'll show you the control room where we're all making the magic happen, and then we'll introduce you to Barney, and that's who we're gonna show you some skills on. This is our control room. You can see on the monitors, I can see what's going on in the room. The other monitor over there is how I can actually control Barney, and I can make him do the skills that we can do. Okay. I do have Barney turned on for you guys today, and he's fully interactive. He's our highest, what we call a high fidelity mannequin. Okay. You see he's blinking, his chest will rise. He has the CPR interactions. And then he has pulse points all over his body. Okay. He has the femorals up here on the throat and in the hands and the feet. His chest will rise. Okay. He has heart sounds, lung sounds, bowel sounds. It's amazing. Before mannequins came along, you were either listening to a recording or watching YouTube for what let's say a heart murmur sounds like. Okay. Or if someone had a murmur in class, that would be the most popular person because, oh, let me hear your murmur. But now we can actually reproduce that on the mannequins. Okay. So we can introduce so many things to our students that they may not hear normally. Okay. Barney here, if we had him loaded up, he could tear up, froth at the mouth. He can have a runny nose. Whenever you see a medical program and the guy goes into CPR, they intubate him right away. They stick that blade down his throat and then put the tube in there so they can breathe. We can intubate Barney. Wow. If we don't want Barney to be intubated, we could swallow his tongue, lock his neck, and then they have to do a tracheotomy on him and actually put a tube in his throat to make him breathe. We can reinflate his lung. We can collapse his lung and make it reinflate. Barney here is one of the mannequins that can go anywhere. He has a wireless router in his belly. He's battery operated. He has his compressor and everything built into him. So his partner Fred down the hallway has been in the back of an ambulance running code around with the paramedics, has been underneath this building, in the bathroom in this building, because paramedics have to go grab people from anywhere. Right. So it's a very intense process. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have you work on Barney. Okay. Okay. Sounds great. We're going to have you check his pulse. You can watch for his chest rise. Okay. His pulse point is right here. Okay. And then we're going to have you take a blood pressure. Okay. And the way you do a blood pressure is you'll put your stethoscope right underneath the joint there, and you'll pump this up to 180. Okay. And then you'll release this valve, and it will start to come down. Okay. And what's going to happen is you're going to hear a slight heartbeat, and then it's going to get a little bit louder, and then it's going to trail off. Okay. Okay. So the first time you hear the heartbeat, I want you to see what that number is. Okay. And then the last time you hear the heartbeat, I want you to see what that number is. Okay. And then that's how you take a blood pressure, and that's whenever you hear like 140 over 100, that's how they do it. Okay. 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 I'm going to go in the other room. Okay. And you can sit here and have a chat with Barney. Right on. And we'll do some vitals here for you. Great. All right, Chris. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a set of vitals on the patient. Okay. You've already gloved up, which you have to do when you're interacting with a patient. But something else that we do here in the Sim Center is called soft skills. Okay. You have to talk to the patient. You can introduce yourself to the patient like they do in a hospital room, and then explain to him what you're going to be doing, taking his pulse or taking his blood pressure so they're not caught off guard. Okay. Sounds good. I'll give it a go. So, hey, Barney. My name is Chris. I work here in the Simulation Center. Today, I'm going to be taking your vitals, checking your blood pressure, and I hope to get you feeling better real soon. That's great. It's great to meet you, Chris. So I'm going to start with the blood pressure here. Go ahead and turn that nozzle on there you go. And that will close off. There you go. Go ahead and close it all the way. Oh, okay. Now go ahead and release really slow. A little slower. There you go. Go ahead and drop it. Open it. There you go. Okay, so
Sounded like I got 100 over 80. Was that right?
It was close.
Okay.
What happens here, and this is a perfect.
What is a perfect example is when a student takes a blood pressure and that needle drops too far or too fast, they'll get that first number a little low, and that's exactly what happened on you. But you nailed the bottom number. It did stop at 80.
Okay.
But that was an excellent first try.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and take his pulse.
Okay.
And what you do there is you count how many heartbeats you'll feel for 30 seconds.
Okay.
And multiply by 2.
Doing okay, Barney?
Yeah, am I living? Is my heart beating?
I actually don't feel a pulse at all.
All right. Well, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and see if you can see my chest rise, or actually, why don't you look into my eyes to make sure my eyes are moving?
Yeah, squeeze that clip. There you go. His eyes are responsive to light.
So yeah, you
just
can
like
see
they
the
are in a
pupil.
human being.
We got it one more time. You guys can check out the pupil moving. That's awesome. So you guys can.
So some of the other things that I can do as a mannequin, I can keep my eyes open. I can wink at you. I can wink at you with the other eye. There we go. I can make him, somewhat unresponsive, half open. I can actually lock the pupils if I wanted to, so they wouldn't be responsive to light. So that way, when you would check, it would be a blown out pupil, and so they would know something else is going on. I'm gonna have John go back in there and talk to you guys.
Okay. So hey, we appreciate you letting us come in this morning, giving us a tour, showing us around. And for students, if you want to know more about the Simulation Center, you can reach out to John Bitner, and your extension is
435.
435. So reach out to John. If you guys have questions, give him a call. He'll be happy to answer all your questions.
And if there's anybody out in the public that sees this, we cater to doctors' offices and outside clinicals. You just have to schedule, and there is a fee, of course, but we can talk about that for anybody out in the public.
All right, awesome. So it's a great resource for the community, for different healthcare industries, and of course our students. So thanks a lot, John.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks for watching Mondays with Meeks. Be sure to give us a like and a share on Facebook and on YouTube. Like and subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications. You guys have a great day.